A book must be the axe for the frozen sea within us. I am a cage, in search of a bird. Don't bend, don't water it down, don't try to make it logical, don't edit your own soul according to the fashion. Rather, follow your most intense obsessions mercilessly. Many a book is like a key to unknown chambers within the castle of one's own self. Youth is happy because it has the capacity to see beauty. Anyone who keeps the ability to see beauty never grows old. I am free, and that is why I am lost. I write differently from what I speak differently from what I think differently from the way I ought to think, and so it all proceeds into deepest darkness. I cannot make you understand. I cannot make anyone understand what is happening inside me. I cannot even explain it to myself. A first sign of the beginning of understanding is the wish to die. The meaning of life is that it stops. All language is but a poor translation. A non-writing writer is a monster courting insanity. You do not need to leave your room. Remain sitting at your table and listen. Do not even listen, simply wait, be quiet, still and solitary. The world will freely offer itself to you to be unmasked. It has no choice, it will roll in ecstasy at your feet. By believing passionately in something that still does not exist, we create it. The non-existent is whatever we have not sufficiently desired. I have the true feeling of myself only when I am unbearably unhappy. I think we ought to read only the kind of books that wound and stab us. It's only because of their stupidity that they're able to be so sure of themselves. Writing is utter solitude, the descent into the cold abyss of oneself. I have spent all my life resisting the desire to end it. There is an infinite amount of hope in the universe, but not for us. He is terribly afraid of dying because he hasn't yet lived. I usually solve problems by letting them devour me. I never wish to be easily defined. I'd rather float over other people's minds as something strictly fluid and non-perceivable, more like a transparent, paradoxically iridescent creature rather than an actual person. Now I can look at you in peace. I don't eat you anymore. I miss you deeply, unfathomably, senselessly, terribly. Love is that you are the knife which I plunge into myself. I do not speak as I think, I do not think as I should, and so it all goes on in helpless darkness. Better to have, and not need, than to need, and not have. This tremendous world I have inside of me. How to free myself, and this world, without tearing myself to pieces, and rather tear myself to 1,000 pieces than be buried with this world within me. I'm tired, can't think of anything and want only to lay my face in your lap, feel your hand on my head and remain like that through all eternity. As Gregor Samsa awoke one morning from uneasy dreams, he found himself transformed in his bed into a gigantic insect. You were at once both the quiet and the confusion of my heart. They say ignorance is bliss. They're wrong. I need solitude for my writing, not like a hermit, that wouldn't be enough, but like a dead man. In a way, You are poetry material, you are full of cloudy subtleties I am willing to spend a lifetime figuring out. Words burst in your essence and you carry their dust in the pores of your ethereal individuality. May I kiss you then? On this miserable paper? I might as well open the window and kiss the night air. April 27th. Incapable of living with people, of speaking. Complete immersion in myself, thinking of myself. Apathetic, witless, fearful. I have nothing to say to anyone, never. You can hold yourself back from the sufferings of the world. That is something you are free to do and it accords with your nature, but perhaps this very holding back is the one suffering you could avoid. People label themselves with all sorts of adjectives. I can only pronounce myself as nauseatingly miserable beyond repair. You are the knife I turn inside myself, that is love. That, my dear, is love. Beyond a certain point there is no return. This point has to be reached. My peers, lately, have found companionship through means of intoxication that makes them sociable. I, however, cannot force myself to use drugs to cheat on my loneliness. It is all that I have, and when the drugs and alcohol dissipate, will be all that my peers have as well. It would have been so pointless to kill himself that, even if he had wanted to, the pointlessness would have made him unable. Yours. Now I'm even losing my name. It was getting shorter and shorter all the time and is now, yours. Most men are not wicked. They are sleepwalkers, not evildoers. L'éternité, c'est long, surtout vers la fin. Love is a drama of contradictions. First impressions are always unreliable. We photograph things in order to drive them out of our minds. My stories are a way of shutting my eyes. How about if I sleep a little bit longer and forget all this nonsense? The truth is always an abyss. One must, as in a swimming pool, dare to dive from the quivering springboard of trivial everyday experience and sink into the depths, in order to later rise again, laughing and fighting for breath, to the now doubly illuminated surface of things.